Hayes FM.
Hello and welcome. This is 91.8 Hayes FM. I'm Nicola Feustel, your host for this afternoon. I'm here from the hours of 1 and 3 and I have a special guest in with me this afternoon, my very good friend Rhianna. She's going to say hello to you in a bit and we're going to be discussing some good topics today. So body image, diets, the fitness industry and anything else you'd like to discuss. So if you do want to get in contact with us, you can tweet us at Hayes FM Official. Ask us your questions. We'll tell you no lies. It's all about truth and being real. So take a little listen to this. I hope you're going to enjoy and we'll be right back.
Imagination. Mouths hold tongue and prophecy. Collarbones give the pearls a place to reside. And your ribs hold your lungs in place. But I don't remember if I should feel them when I hold you. I couldn't tell if you were taking a deep breath, if I had become ultra-sensitive to the skeletal system, or if you were a victim to societal judgment.
Judgment.
It's the latter, you know.
The model mayhem reality TV that isn't reality at all. It's the check yourself out in the grocery line checkout, laden with magazines that are doctored perfect by Photoshop, and lemonade non-carb crazes. It's the Pepperdine mentality.
The desire not to check your reflection in reflective surfaces. You look fine.
You look fine.
As good as you did 6 seconds ago when we passed that silver trash can, and before the frosted glass door, and before the polished floor, and before the after. Look at me. Look at me. You are beautiful.
It's a body. A body with curves in all the places that aren't meant to be flat. A flesh God created to keep your organs warm. You're perfect. No regurgitated dialogue, no afterthought, no measurements, no inches, no European sizing to make you feel small. What can I do to convince you? What track can I lay across? To whom shall I speak? Should I go to Malibu and shut down the tanning labs? You want me to sprint to Hollywood and shut down the stages, fire the stylists, set fire to the paparazzi, destroy the foundation that hides blemish, delete the dye that camouflages roots, hostage the editors of OK, Vogue, and Cosmo? Who has to die? Because you are not an option.
You are 28, 5'10", and 87 pounds. You think you could stand to lose a few.
She is 16, a size 1, and runs 7 miles daily, hoping to shed weight in the form of sweat.
And her, 5'6", 12 years of age, 200 pounds of childhood obesity, binging all the way through America's Next Top Model Marathon on E. Her backseat was filled with fast food wrappers. Now she is a bulimic alcoholic who worships Elle magazine in her quarters at rehab for substance abuse. And her skin was blotchy. Hair too thin, eyes wider than allowed, not enough hips, and she could maybe make it with plastic enhancement. I make art, see things that others miss, and I see you wasting away. Your size 0 jeans are baggy in the thighs and the knees, and I'm not negligent, so I won't act as if everything is fine. The you I remember, the you I see is beautiful. They were all beautiful. They were good enough. I want to help. I want to listen. But there are fingers in your mouth where there should be words.
Just disappointment in your eyes that have started to set like the sodden sun.
I have done the research, and the statistics are so stale. They say that anorexia is the 3rd most common chronic illness among adolescents. 40 to 60% of high school girls diet. 50% of girls between the ages of 13 and 15 believe they're overweight.
80% of 13-year-old girls have dieted.
40% of 9-year-olds are dieting right now. That 20% of people with anorexia who do not get treatment will die.
And 80% of those that do get treatment will never get enough of it. I want to help. I want to listen. And you can start by looking at me. Look at me. You're beautiful. Look at me.
Okay, so I hope you're still with us and enjoyed that one. That was from Body Image PSA Look At Me. It's actually a video on YouTube. I did ask their permission for that, and they do a dance with it. The dance is absolutely amazing, so if you do get a chance to watch it, or tweet me and I can send you the link. And yes, so we've got Rhianna in the building. Hi, Rhianna.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm not bad.
So she didn't get lost like most people do. She made it here. So this is good stuff. So I've known Rhianna for quite a while now, and we met in the fitness industry. So do you want to just share with us who you are and where you come from?
Yeah, so local. Met Nicola firstly at the gym. It was the first gym I ever went to, and she just inspired me. I took up personal training with her, and then she just became kind of like my best friend and my saviour.
But not only that, you then got into the industry, didn't you?
Yeah. I started teaching classes. I've been teaching now for about 2 years, and I'm actually currently studying to be a personal trainer.
Ooh.
It's quite
Do you
scary.
have a personal trainer name or anything? Like, obviously, I'm FeustelFIT. Have you?
No, I haven't thought of it yet.
Okay, so if anyone's
Something to work
interested and they'd like to do some training with Riri.
Yeah. Training with Riri.
Yeah, training with Riri. So what would you like to focus on with people with training?
Definitely more kind of strength and conditioning, because it seems to be the kind of way I've been going down now, rather than weight loss, anything like that. It's not really a personal goal of mine anymore. It's not really a road
which is a story we're going to discuss.
Anyone really goes down too much.
Yeah.
But like kind of strength and conditioning is something that I've got into. I feel like I'm quite good at it, so it'd be nice to kind of inspire other women especially to get strong.
Absolutely.
Instead of skinny.
Because there's a lot of people from back in the day, you know, like even way back, even in the 80s, everything was about getting skinny and doing cardio, aerobics, you know, and there was all the adverts for Weight Watchers and Slim Fast, and there's many more, so I'm not going into any particular ones. There's many of them, and we're still, like, in the fitness industry, we're saturated with weight loss stuff.
Yes.
And I know I've done it myself, and mainly I've done it as a form of marketing, because I know that that's what people want. And when people do come to you, the first two things you say, what's your goal? And they say weight loss and tone up my tummy. Yeah. And that is generally like 90+% of people who I've trained throughout the years have come to me for those reasons.
Yeah.
And I did fall along with that line for a few years, actually. And I've even been on my own sort of weight loss journey and ups and downs and things throughout the years. And now changing everything, I want to help people to be really healthy and get fit and strong, like you.
Yeah.
So can you share with us your because it goes mainly, the reason why people come for weight loss is because of body image, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
So what's your story with body image and weight loss?
Okay, so first of all, I was just miserable, and when I first came to you, when I first met you, I couldn't even look in the mirror, and
You've lost a lot of weight already, haven't you?
I have. Yeah. I was a size 20, 22, and then just within about 6 months of being with you, just changing my lifestyle, I got down to about a size 14. And even though that was a massive achievement, I didn't feel like I had got anywhere. I still feel like I wanted more and more and more. And I just had this perfect vision of what I should look like. And it just spiraled down because it was unrealistic. It was never going to be something I would be able to attain, because that's not the way I'm made.
Yeah, everybody has their different genetics.
Exactly, yeah. And I just didn't seem to appreciate my body for what it was. And it just spiraled down into misery and depression, and to the point that I didn't leave the house unless it was to go to the gym.
So you're constantly working on getting that perfect body.
Yes, yeah.
So let's talk about the perfect body, because there is no perfect, is there?
No.
And there'll be people listening right now who are also thinking, that's me. I'm aiming for my perfect body, and I'm working hard on it. And why am I not achieving the perfect body? What are your thoughts on that?
You're not achieving it because it doesn't exist. You need to strive to be the best that you can be, not perfect. Because I remember one day crying, and I sat in my room and I was looking at websites for plastic surgery and things like that. And my boyfriend at the time, he came up and he was like, what's wrong with you? And I said, I just want to feel perfect. And it wasn't until kind of I got out of that steep hill that I realised it doesn't exist. I am perfect the way I am, because there is no image of perfection given to you by anybody else apart from yourself. And if you say that you already are perfect, then who's to say that that's not?
That is amazing. I want to bottle up those words and then give them back to you at times when
every
because
time
even when you do have, like, say you've got to a level now where you understand all of this, same with me, you still have your ups and downs, don't you? So there'll still be days where you feel bad about your body, or you may, through habit as well, through many years of saying bad things about yourself in the mirror, you may walk past a mirror and say something bad, and you have to almost pull yourself back and say, hang on a minute, no, that's the old me, let's let that go, because it's only you being so bad on yourself.
I did it yesterday. I went into the gym and I said, I need to train, I feel chubby. And I thought, no, stop right now. It's ridiculous.
So it's like we have two brains, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
You've got one that says all the negative stuff, tells you you're no good enough, tells you you're too fat, you're too wide, you're too short, you're too tall, you're too skinny.
Yeah.
There's so many different words. So that's what we think of perfection.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing a little bit more about Rhianna's story, and also how we met and what we feel about the fitness industry right after this. This is Black Eyed Peas, Don't Lie, because we're all about telling the truth here.
Yeah. Stop lying.
Okay, so we're stopping lying and we're telling the truth. It's all about body image, diets and the fitness industry, and we've just been talking off air about exercise and how exercise can get actually quite unhealthy as well. What's your story on exercise, Rhianna? Obviously you said before that you started exercising with me. Maybe it's my fault.
We're going to blame you anyway.
It was so good, you just got addicted.
Yeah, no, I did, to be fair. When I moved gyms and I started obviously getting into the fitness industry, I was over-exercising, unhealthy, 11 plus spin classes a week, and no time to eat, sleep, anything. I was always teaching, I was moving, and then obsessed still with training outside of that as well, because I was in this mindset of I have to get my weights in as well. So I would do one class, train, do another class, eat something quickly, another class, train, and it just went around in circles every single day.
So how do we know what is healthy amount of exercise?
Go by how you feel, I guess.
Because there are also the guidelines, aren't there? And I did this myself, and I was very hard on myself because I thought the norms, you know, those norms chart that you get in your level 2 and your level 3, they teach you about, you know, like with BMI. So the people listening, if you're not in the fitness industry and you're unaware of these, or there'll be norms charts for everything, won't there? So other industries, there's always the below, the average, and the above. And so in health and fitness, you want everyone to be the average. So like in your BMI, you need to have an average BMI, a good weight for your height and size and whatever. And the same with exercise. You want to do your 5 times a week, cardiovascular, and of certain levels as well. There's a lot more to going into it. But I remember being hard on myself, thinking I'm not normal. I'm going to be an instructor. So therefore, I need to be better than everybody else. I need to be in the elite box. I need to be like an athlete. And then you hear of athletes like... you know, runners in the Olympics, and they're training 8 hours a day. That's the full-time job. And I'm thinking, well, they're human, so, you know, if they can do it, then I can do it. I should be training 8 times a day. And you're just really hard on yourself, aren't you, as an instructor?
Yeah.
Do you feel like there was the pressure in the fitness industry that you had to be like that, be better than
Yeah, of course,
people?
Especially always being kind of bigger than your average instructor. I've had a few people kind of saying, oh, wait, you're teaching the class. Yeah, I'm your instructor today, but you're not skinny.
Did they really say that?
Yeah. How can you be our spin teacher when you're not thin?
Wow, I'm shocked.
I like food. I have to eat to maintain the amount I'm doing. You don't know. You see me for an hour a day. You don't know what I'm doing outside of that. So I have to kind of be healthy, but I wasn't, because I was over-exercising, and I kind of saw it as... why am I doing this to myself when this is never something I would prescribe to a client?
We're going to come right
else.
back to that, because that is a brilliant point after this break. Welcome back. So this is 91.8 Hayes FM. You are listening to the FeustelFIT Health and Fitness Show. We're here every Tuesday between the hours of 1 and 3 p.m. with myself, Nicola Feustel. I can take a breath now. And it's Rhianna's turn to talk. So she's going to talk to us. What were you saying just before the break there? About doing more than you prescribe your clients. Let's talk about that.
Just saying kind of like what was an unhealthy amount of exercise. I said, when you think about it, you're doing more than you would ever tell anybody else to do.
So we all have a level of healthy in our heads, and it's okay to give somebody else that, but we want to be the elite people and do a little bit more than that, because it's health and fitness, isn't it? It's not like it's drugs, so therefore you take more and it's really bad.
But it is.
And I know, but this is what you think. And you think, you know, there's worse things to be addicted to. And I've heard people say this as well. I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, you know, I love exercise, I'm addicted to it. Yeah. You know, and I've even said it myself.
People reinforce that, and they say, oh, but it's the best thing to be addicted to.
Exactly. Because it's healthy, so it's a healthy addiction. And if I didn't have this, I'd have that or whatever. And they talk about lots of unhealthy things. But certainly, I mean, it's the same with drugs. You take drugs, you get that spike of your hormone levels. You get addicted to the hormones, the serotonin, the same things that are released when you exercise. So what you just learnt recently about good food and bad food. This is the other thing. So in the industry, we've been... you know, doing it ourselves as well, but we've now seen the light. So telling the clients, as we said, the healthy guidelines, but a lot of people, social media, Instagram, Facebook, everything, put out there that there are clean foods and dirty
everything
foods.
else.
Yeah. So cheat meals. So let's talk about clean food and cheat meals.
Oh, I love a good cheat meal. Every day. I don't think really there is such a thing as clean or dirty food. I mean, a calorie is a calorie, whether it's a McDonald's calorie or a salad calorie. It's still a number on a scale, isn't it?
And there are plenty of other fast food providers out there, just to say.
Yeah, but that's my favourite.
Yeah, but certainly food is food. So if you need food, you're gonna, especially, this is why I used to tell people to prepare their food. So if they get really hungry, they may then choose a worse variety of food. But now I'm trying to avoid the whole concept of good food, bad food, because food is food and you need to fuel your body. Especially if you are exercising, you may need more calories than your mate who doesn't exercise.
Yeah.
And even if your mate does exercise, you're both two completely different people.
Exactly.
And I saw a post on Facebook just the other day, actually, from a girl who said, I've just been away at the weekend with my friend and we ate exactly the same. I've put on 6 pounds and she's stayed exactly the same. Why is this? You know, is it bloating? Is it I drank too much water? Is it my hormones messed up after doing diets and whatever? But they're two very completely different people, so you can never compare yourself to somebody else. And it's also, what have you been doing before that weekend? You know, if you've messed up your metabolism through lots of dieting, messed up your hormones, then your body's going to respond differently to eating normally, and assuming when you're with your friend you're eating normally. Yeah.
This whole energy expenditure thing, isn't it? Everyone's different.
What did you learn at your course? You were just telling me about the good food and bad food.
Yeah, no, we were saying just like, it doesn't matter what you eat, as long as you're within that calorie bracket. Like, if you're trying to lose weight, then it needs to be less than your output, so your calorie intake is less than what you're burning. And then if you're trying to put on weight, it obviously has to be more than what you're burning. And then if maintenance, you're just eating the same, so it balances out. So my tutor said, anyway, it doesn't matter what you eat as long as you're within that number of what you're trying to achieve. I think there was a study done last year, a man that only lived on McDonald's for
I saw
ages.
That.
And he lost so much weight because he was just watching how much he ate.
How many calories.
So I guess it just comes down to everything in moderation.
It is calories for calories, but just to be clear to the people listening that certain macronutrients have different calories to them. For example, carbohydrates have 7 calories per gram. But just to, rather than going into them all, if you look at carbohydrates and you look at alcohol you would consider a carb on that same scale, but alcohol has 7 calories per gram as well.
Yes.
But those calories are not nutritious, so they're not actually giving you any vitamins or minerals, they're just giving you alcohol. Whereas the carbohydrates, obviously depending what type of carbohydrates you're having, it's giving you that fuel for your muscles, for your energy, you know, and vitamins as well if you're having your carbohydrates in the form of vegetables and things like that. So in terms of that, 7 calories is 7 calories of 2 different types.
Different.
But in what you're saying with calories being calories, yes. So if you eat 7 calories of, if 7 calories was your allowance,
I hope it never is.
then you could definitely tip the scale by having more than that on either the nutritious food or the alcohol. So there you go. That's calories for you. So how does one work out how many calories they should be having? Have you got that far yet?
Not really, no.
Okay, so it really does depend on your body shape and size, and this is what we were saying before about people being very different, you know, and different genetics, and also your lifestyle. So if you are sitting down at a desk all day and you're not moving much, you're not burning much. So everybody does have a basic metabolic rate, and that's how many calories you burn at rest. So that's a good way of working out. Obviously, it depends on how much muscle mass you have. If you have more muscle, you're going to burn more calories just at rest than you are somebody else. So it's very, very individual, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, we're going to take a little break to the local news. Tweet us your questions at HazelFM Official. We're talking body image, diet and the fitness industry. So that's what's on locally in Hayes and Hillingdon. If you know something we don't, tweet us at HazelFM Official. So we always discuss other fitness events that are coming up as well, but there is lots of fitness classes around called Owl Parks, and I went to one yesterday. We've been filming for a TV show called Fit Happens, which if you've been listening week after week I've been telling you about because I've been a little bit excited, and this is the week, it's finally here. So I went along to one of the Owl Parks classes in Hillingdon, Fascinage Park, 10 o'clock yesterday. circuits class. It was amazing. There's a teacher there called Lee. I don't know his surname, but I'll find him and I'll tweet his name to everybody so you can get in contact with him. But you can also find it through the website, so I believe you do have to actually register on Our Parks, OURparks.org.uk. So these classes are all free for anybody. There was loads of... It is for men and women, but it was mainly women just because of the time of day, I think. And one lady actually brought her child along as well. So if you are stuck for childcare, you can bring them along to the park. Obviously, it may not be so nice if it's rainy, though. But, yeah, certainly there's loads of classes out there, so have a look, because some of them are indoors as well. Have you seen these Our Park classes, Rhianna?
I saw something you put on Facebook about it.
You should join. You should become an instructor.
I may.
We had a question come in for you, Rhianna. I feel bad about my body image, but I don't want to diet. What should I do?
And to love yourself, literally, it is a case of building new pathways in the brain to override those negative ones. Personally, what I did is, before I even got out of bed in the morning, I told myself 3 things I was thankful for. And then when I got up, and when I did get the courage to kind of uncover all the mirrors in my room, I looked in the mirror and I told myself 3 things that I loved about myself. Even if I didn't believe them, I faked it till I made it.
Retraining your brain.
Even if you need to lie to yourself for a little while and saying that you love yourself, even if you don't feel like you do, in the end you will believe it.
Yeah, because if you think about that little kid in you or me or whoever has done this, they've had somebody say something bad about them. Yeah. They didn't even think it was true, but they've then said it in their head, oh, it must be true because that so-and-so said it.
Yeah.
And it's gone over and over and over in their head till they believed it.
Yeah.
So as you're saying, it's just a case of just remove those words. It sounds so simple, but it just has to be done, doesn't it, on a daily basis?
Yeah. It is a simple concept. It's not a simple thing to do.
Yeah, but you cannot stop. It's like exercise. You need to, with your muscles, go over and over and over them. They get used to the same stimulus. You've got to do more, and in order for them to keep growing.
Yeah.
So same with your mind and your brain, isn't it? In order to keep the change happening and keep it positive.
And then even with the mind, it is the same as being in the gym. You start with light weights, and you gradually build them up until you're able to lift heavy. So the next weight up would be doing something out of your comfort zone. Go to something you didn't think you would ever want to do. So go to a fitness class, wear that top that you felt fat in, and tell yourself, I look amazing. Sometimes, I think I even put a picture up on Instagram yesterday saying that sometimes you just have to tell yourself, damn, you look bomb. You do, you have to. Even if you don't always believe it, just look at yourself in the mirror. And I mean, there's people that love you, there's people that are going to say that, but it doesn't matter what they say unless you believe it yourself.
Exactly, because it is all about you, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to live with your body. You have to see it through your own eyes in the mirror. People will come and go in your life and they'll all have their own opinion of you.
Exactly. And I think we rely too much on kind of what other people think about us. So if someone does say something like, oh, you look a bit chubby in that top, or that top doesn't suit you, or your hips look a bit big in that, why don't you change for something else? No, don't change. Wear it. If you feel good in it, wear it. Don't listen to what anyone else says. Just go by how you feel, because it comes from within. It does. Believe it, because obviously you start by lying to yourself, and then so your heavyweight would be actually believing that you've done things outside of your comfort zone. You've worn something a little bit raunchy that you wouldn't have worn before or whatever, and now it's time to start believing it.
So I would say as well, one thing that goes hand in hand with all of that is just be really mindful of what you're looking at on social media.
Yes.
Because if you ever look at any page or person that it may not be their fault, but whatever the image is, if that makes you feel bad in any way about your body or about your life, then just remove it, because why? Just an image can change your mood. And this is why I say to people about weighing themselves on the scales is pointless, because you're just, that activity could change your mood for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Or week.
How can we allow this to happen?
I know, so many silly things have control over us.
And I'm actually really scared about social media at the moment, but we're going to come right back to talk about social media after this.
Yes.
Topic today is body image, dieting and the fitness industry, and maybe being a little bit obsessive about exercise and food. So the two go together, don't they? But we're just talking there about social media, and in fact that can be an addiction, can't it? And I found myself not being able to sleep some nights, and then going on social media, the worst thing you can ever do, and then you just can't get off. Because also, I think there's something to do with the lights as well. So forgetting about what you're actually looking at or posting, it's the lights are really bad, damaging for your brain, and then they create things going on that you then can't sleep.
I think it was something in the research that they did. It tricks your mind into thinking that it's daylight. So your mind is constantly in a state of activity.
That was more intelligent than what you said.
But yeah, you're in a state of activity, which means your mind will not shut down in order to go to sleep. Which is why they say you should turn off TV, turn off phone, everything, at least half an hour before you go into bed.
Okay, note to self.
Half an hour before.
Yeah, but talking about social media and how I think it's really scary now, because kids, and I've got 2 daughters. My oldest one, she's into social media. She does Instagram and everything, and watching people and looking at their bodies and saying, you know, I want to look like that. Why can I not have a 6-pack like that? I want to grow this bit, cut that bit. And, you know, that's just, it's very damaging, isn't it?
It is.
Especially for young girls, which is why it's so scary, because I didn't have it in my day.
No.
And it's like so recent, isn't it? But it's just taken off.
Yeah.
And if we're constantly bombarded with how people or opinions are telling us this is what we should look like, and there's so many posters out there saying get beach body ready, are you feeling bad that your Christmas or New Year's resolutions didn't work? I saw a really bad one, actually. I had an email, I won't say who it's from, but it was from a gym, and my jaw dropped, and then it dropped some more, and then some more, and I had to pick it up off the floor, because every line in the email, it came from a guy he's very like tongue-in-cheek funny, and you know how comedians, they take the mick, don't they?
Yeah.
So they'll say really bad stuff, so like politically incorrect in every way. So this guy was doing that in terms of fatness, and obviously it was to try to get people into the gym by making them feel guilty. And I
think it probably
I get he was trying to be funny, but I thought this is so wrong, to make people feel guilty about themselves, and the words that he used as well.
And if you feel like that, think of how someone that's scared to go to the gym anyway is going to feel.
Yeah. So you almost have to feel a bit positive about yourself in order to get yourself to the gym.
Yes. It is a terrifying experience, and I can tell you that from my own experience. The first time I ever went was to your class, and I was shaking.
It was not scary.
You wasn't scary, but the whole kind of... I think the whole stigma around gyms is you expect to walk in and see buff guys benching and skinny girls kind of posing. It's not actually like that, but that's how...
Depends where you go, really.
But it is just a whole stigma that around the gym environment. It's, as a overweight person that's uncomfortable anyway in their body, to go and put yourself in that environment is very scary in the first place. And I know I'm not the only one, because being in sales in a gym, I saw a lot of that from other people as well.
Well, that's good then. That's nice that you're in that role, that you can relate to them and help them through it.
Yes, because a lot of people that come in, 9 times out of 10, they won't join if you don't kind of give them that motivation. So I've seen so many people that so badly wanted to join, and you could see it, like everything about them, they wanted to reach their goals.
Because it's not like you're a salesperson in that sense, because you're not going out and pulling people in. They've actually come into the gym, haven't they? So some part of them wants to do it, and they just need that nudge or hand holding. Yeah,
exactly. And I remember one woman, she came in and she was like, oh, I don't know. And I said, okay, well, what is stopping you? And she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I said, this is not a bill. I mean, the gym membership was cheap anyway, but I said, it's not a bill. Your fitness and your well-being is your investment. So it just depends on how important it is to you to reach your goal. I will do anything I can outside of my job role. I don't care about that. I'll do anything I can to help you. She joined there and then. It wasn't money, it was fear. So if you can remove that fear factor from it, everyone would just be so much happier.
But it's step after step, isn't it? So once you've joined, actually getting down the gym, especially if you are completely new to exercise,
it's terrifying,
because you don't even have trainers.
And you walk in and you see people that seem to know what they're doing, and all these machines, and you're like, I'm never going to be able to work any of these. What is this? But it is just a case of doing. You learn on the job.
And also, as you know, as you're saying, you're there as a salesperson, but there are different roles in the gyms, and the staff are actually there to help you, aren't they? So as a beginner, you should go through a process of the sales team, and then the gym team who show you how to use everything, make sure that you are comfortable, and then if you do need that hand-holding one-to-one or a bit of a push or whatever your goals are, you can then seek help with a personal trainer. Most gyms have trainers, don't they?
Yeah.
So if you are new, it'd be good even just to invest in that for a few sessions.
Just until you kind of feel comfortable enough. Yeah.
And actually that relates to a friend of mine who felt like that in the gym. So I was going in the gym with her just to make her feel comfortable. And then I felt exactly the same in the swimming pool.
Yes.
So where I had fears of swimming and I was scared to go swimming, and then I realised in my head that this is exactly the same thing, because I kind of needed the teacher just to get me in the pool, and once I'm there I'm fine. But there was like, I couldn't put words to it, but just something stopping my body from actually taking one step after the other to go in the pool. Like, I could have put words to it. If you asked me why do you not want to do it, I'd probably make excuses like, oh, it's so much hassle, I've got to wash my hair. Changing clothes, the time it takes. There'll be so many different excuses, and they are really excuses, aren't they?
Yeah, when you look at it, there's nothing stopping you.
But that's how I can definitely relate to the gym, because obviously with gym I've come so far now that it's just like brushing my teeth to me, which I guess is a good way for people to get to, where it's just part of their routine, as long as they don't go too far, which I have done, which we can come back to later. But with, I do feel like I really relate to a beginner with the swimming and the gym, because I still feel like I have to force myself to go so many times just so that then it becomes habit and then I'll enjoy it. But I always enjoy it once I'm there.
Yeah.
But I do have to kick my own butt to get down there sometimes.
Yeah. I have to do that still now with the gym.
Do you? So what's your relationship with the gym now?
We're best buddies still.
Love-hate relationship.
It is.
Make up, break up.
But no, I love it. I do. But it's just for me, sometimes if I don't feel like going, I'm not at the point now where I make myself feel guilty about that. Whereas I used to, if I didn't go, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? You're going to get fat again, or you're going to be unhealthy, and one gym session's not going to affect it. So if I am tired one day, you know what, I'll skip the gym and I'll get an early night instead. It's not a big deal anymore.
In fact, that's really good advice, because also when you do your next session, you know, you're really buzzing for the next session. You've got loads of energy and you can get a lot out of it. And if you did 2 sessions that were a bit pointless and worthless because you're tired and maybe had poor technique and probably injure yourself, it's going to be better that you did 1 good session that was, you know, amazing, and
whereas
you maybe
before,
pushed a goal.
I would have preferred to do 5 awful sessions because I've been to the gym.
Yeah, you tick that box.
None of them were effective. But now I'm at the point that if I go and I force myself to go, I know it's not going to be a very good session, and I feel worse for it. Because I've been to the gym, I've wasted my time, when I could have just got an early night and felt better the next day. Whereas now I beat myself up more for having a bad session because I shouldn't have gone.
And this early night thing as well, if you overtrain, you can't sleep anyway.
No. And sleep is something that's always been important to me.
Well, it should be, and it should be important to everybody. I know you're not a morning person, are you? No. I'm such a morning person. I wake up with a burpee.
Yeah, you used to drag me out of bed at 7 a.m. for kettlebells. I nearly threw up once.
Yeah. No, we don't aim for that. I didn't mean yay as in that. I meant that I'm a morning person. Yay, I love that
and I'm
about
not.
me. See, everybody's different, and that's the thing. You have to train when you feel the most energetic as well.
Yeah.
If you are a nighttime person, you want to wake up a bit later, you do your work, then go to the gym, that's when you do it. Whereas if you have most energy in the morning, get up early, do a bit then.
Yeah.
You know, or lunchtime or whatever.
Yeah. And there's a lot of articles now as well that say, when's the best time to train to burn most calories?
But apparently there is something to do with your sugar levels and hormones and things that happen over the night where you're burning fat more or less. Yeah, because your body's going to be still... Well, it was on a BBC programme, so I assume it's true. That there's research gone behind it. And they said that women, not men, women are better off eating breakfast before they exercise, and men were better off with the fasted cardio, because there's all this, you know, hashtag fasted cardio stuff, and a lot of bodybuilders do it.
Ever.
So let's talk about all the hashtags, because there's so many out there, isn't there, that making people feel guilty. And there's things about, and as we were talking earlier about exercise being a healthy obsession, which a lot of people say, which actually it isn't. Any obsession is not healthy, even if it is exercise. And there are things to make you feel guilty and feel like you almost need to be obsessed about exercise. For example, rest day. What muscle group is that?
Yes.
You know, so you should feel guilty for having a rest day.
Yeah. Oh, you don't rest when you're tired. You rest when you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. I saw something like that. And then there's loads of them. There's loads.
And all of those, the hashtag Fitspo, Fitspiration, hashtag my cheat meal, come out the other side of like a bodybuilding diet and they've done the show bit. And then obviously their body's putting on a normal amount of weight because it wants to fight back from being so deprived.
Yeah.
Then there's the hashtag fluffy. So you're feeling softer than you were before. You haven't got that hard, ripped, shredded body, which are the other hashtags.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all like negative things, really, isn't it? So beating yourself up, being hard on yourself, and go hard or go home.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that one.
And I was bad. I used to do that myself, you know, but I believed it, and I was doing the same thing inside my head.
Yeah.
But that's actually one thing that happens alongside being a group exercise teacher. If you're doing exercise for money, if you start thinking about your wage and doing things for the money and you forget that your health is behind it, and you know, you're doing, like, I know somebody who does 21 classes a week, so that's 21 hours of exercise that they're physically participating in, you naturally are going to become addicted to exercise.
Yeah, because you have to be.
Yeah, I feel like there's a line, and obviously everybody's different, as we were saying earlier, about your hormones and everything, and where it becomes to affect you, which is different levels for some people to others. For example, your menstrual cycle. If you take a survey of a load of marathon runners, certain numbers of the women would have already lost their menstrual period, and others won't. So it really does depend.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Welcome back. So we had a question come in for Rhianna, and it is how to deal with emotional eating. Okay. And Rhianna, you were just saying off air that you suffer with this.
I do, yeah.
What are your tips? How are you managing it? Because, you know, a lot of people, and as I was saying this, I think will not overeat. That's another discussion. Emotionally eat, and that will happen for life. You know, everyone has their hormones, their days are ups and downs, and food is such a social, cultural, and emotional thing. It is.
Yeah. I think as well, kind of don't make yourself feel so guilty about it. Every now and then a blowout isn't that bad. If you are having a crap day, have something sweet. It's really not going to make that much of a difference in the terms of being healthy or unhealthy. One chocolate bar isn't going to make a difference, I don't think, anyway. Like, one workout is not going to make you fit.
Exactly.
One blowout isn't going to make you unfit. It's all a process. It takes time, and stop trying to, as you said before, control everything, because some things are out of your control, and things are put in front of you to tempt you and things like that. And if you want it, have it.
Yeah, it doesn't
really
have to be all or nothing. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be clean or bad food. Food is food. And if you start allowing yourself to have things, so with your example of the chocolate bar, if chocolate is your thing, you know, if you start allowing yourself to have a bit of chocolate every day even, you know, what the hell?
You're not going to want it as much
Exactly.
anyway.
If you say, right, chocolate is bad, I'm not having chocolate, I'm going to lay off it for X number of days, you're counting the days, therefore, if you're counting every day, there's going to be an end point. When you get to that end point, I'm going to binge on chocolate. And you're probably going to eat way more chocolate there than you would have done if you had a little bit every day.
A little, yeah.
So again, it's the calories in, calories out, and therefore you may put on weight if you're having too much chocolate calories on that day.
Yeah. And if you are feeling guilty about it, then by all means go to the gym and work a little bit harder if that makes you feel better.
Well, I disagree with that one.
But like, sometimes if I have eaten really, really bad, I will go to the gym on Monday, and I'll try and do a little bit more than what I would have done any other time.
And
Just
I would
try
have
not to
done
get
that.
into a spiral of constantly eating, working off,
Yeah, so try not, because if we're thinking of things as being really bad and then we feel guilty about it and then we have to work it off, then that exercise class is for the purpose of working off something.
Yeah, not because you enjoy it or because it's
whereas we need to get
soul.
to exercising because it's good for the soul. And choose an exercise that makes you feel empowered and amazing. And if there is one that makes you feel fat all the time, then don't do that one. Do another one. Because do you know what I did at the weekend? I went to something called Strut Summit, and Rhianna, you have to come with me next time. It's by a lady called Zoe McNulty, and I'm desperate to get her on the radio and share her experience with everyone, because she is a bigger lady in the fitness industry. She's being judged for that. But people should judge her by her talents, because she is an awesome dancer. She's so body confident, any shape or size. You know, she's lost weight, she's gained weight, and she's, you know, because life has done that. And, you know, as it does, as being a woman, having relationships break down and meeting new people and then having children. I don't think she had children, but, you know, as a woman, your body will change. You know, and you cannot stick to your 12-year-old self body. That, you know, it's unattainable. So we need to be proud of who we are and the experiences that our body have had and lived, and like me, had 2 children. Be proud of that, and stretch marks and all, just be who we are.
Exactly.
And Zoe is one of those people, and she's created Strut, which is for women to feel confident in their body, do a bit of dance. It's easy dance, because I'm not a dancer, and I managed to do it. And at the end, we put on our heels and we do a bit of a pop video, and it's really good fun. So it's empowering, and something that a lot of women feel good in their bodies when they dance. So, I mean, dance used to be so unknown to me, because I was, you know, go hard or go home, as I said, and if I didn't feel sweaty if I did dance, so I'd have to do HIIT or spin or
working hard
weights.
enough if you were just dancing.
And now I want to do stuff that's good for my soul as well.
That's why I took up pole dancing.
Yeah, so how do you feel when you do pole dancing?
Amazing. And I never thought I would be the kind of person to be doing that, because I'm in the gym quite big, throwing heavy things around, and then to go and make myself
and go and be elegant and sexy and feminine.
Exactly. Gracious is not really one of my things. So I kind of made the conscious effort to do that, because it was outside of my comfort zone, and it feels
I didn't know that you felt like that, because you're such a good dancer. You seem like you have a natural rhythm.
I do, but I used to play the drums, which again is not very womanly, as to say. So I have the natural
So you
rhythm.
found your feminine side.
I have.
Your inner diva.
Well, I found my inner diva.
See, that's what
around a pole.
That's what Zoe talks about as well, finding your inner diva. And we all have one, and sometimes they're just really wanting to get out. But it's society and what people think and say about us that stops that inner person from coming out. And when they do come out, you're going to feel so free and liberated. Yes, it doesn't mean you have to dance around a pole or do strutting in heels.
But why not?
But if you do want to, then that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So where did you do those classes? Are they local? We can share that with people.
For Trinity Dance Centre.
Are they still on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
still on. She does one-on-one.
Oh, brilliant.
That's how I do it with her.
Okay, so they need to contact fortunity.co.uk?
Yeah, I guess it would be that.
Yeah, brilliant. And there's lots of other dance classes they do as well, I know
they've got loads of teachers, and I've been past some of the studios when I'm on my way up there, and it looks amazing. It's always
so there is an amazing tip for you. Find a dance class, or find a fitness class that's going to do something that's good for your health, your body and your soul. So here's
FeustelFIT on air at 91.8 Hayes FM every Tuesday 1 till 3 p.m. Tune in for health and fitness on air.
Classify a trigger.
Okay, so a trigger is anything that makes you feel bad about yourself, for me. Personally, I'm triggered more by images rather than kind of food or anything like that. It's definitely more images for me that trigger.
So we were talking earlier about social media and unfollowing people on Instagram, Facebook and all the other sites. That would be So sometimes you get pop-ups though, don't you? So if you looked at a lot of fitness sites, you may get adverts.
Yes. Yeah. And it's hard to monitor that, because even if you're just looking for a new pair of gym leggings or something like that, Facebook will even have pop-ups for adverts, and it's horrible, because there's no way of stopping that happening.
Mm-hmm. So talking of triggers, that was leading us into new worlds, because people who are just getting into fitness, There was a good connection we spoke about earlier. Now I can't remember what it was. Yeah, so people who are just getting into fitness for the first time and not knowing what else is out there. This is what this show used to be about, to show people what there is out there if you're just getting into fitness, how to do it, who to meet, who the professionals are, all the different things that you can go and join locally. And now it's about speaking to real people who have a journey, whether it's in fitness or not. And we're talking about health, wellness and body image and those kind of related topics. So when you're first getting into fitness, what sort of world are you surrounding yourself with, Rhianna?
I guess when you first get into fitness, you're surrounding yourself with anything that could probably keep you motivated.
Yes, that's what it was. There's the link.
Yeah.
Because then you start researching things, then you get all the pop-ups, you go through all of the hashtags. Yes, there you go.
Actually probably worse for you than they are motivational.
Yeah. This is the hard thing. So if you want to get into fitness for the first time, there's such a big extreme now, isn't there? There's the what seem like the real fit people, the bodybuilders, the ones who are doing all the meal preps, having protein shakes and supplements and all of this stuff you don't know what to do with, or about you don't have any knowledge on it, and you're new and you think, where do I start?
Yeah.
So you start researching and finding all of this stuff and thinking that's the way you need to go.
Yeah, then that leads into obsessive behaviour.
Yeah, which is not healthy in any way. If you take anything to an extreme, it's all about balance, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I keep coming back to that word because I need to tattoo it on my body.
Balance.
Balance, yes. And I used to teach a class called Body Balance. I loved it.
Your body
and I
balance
need
class
that
was
back in my life because doing lots of strength training stuff, I need to have a bit of yoga, stretching, Pilates, a bit more calm.
Yes.
The yin to the yang.
Yes.
Definitely. I need that. So yeah, that's getting into the fitness world, but you can also go extreme when you're already in the fitness world and think, right, well, what's the next step?
Yeah.
I need
Where do
to
we go
run a
from
marathon
here? Yeah.
because that's what people do. I need to do Tough Mudder, or I need to become a bodybuilder.
Yes.
And I went down this road, so I have lots to say on the subject, and one day somebody will interview me and I'll talk about my experience. But what's your experience with the bodybuilding community? What are your thoughts on it, Rhianna?
I don't mind it, as long as, obviously, as we said before, it doesn't become an obsession. With bodybuilding, there's kind of a few different kind of avenues you could go. There's kind of the strength way of just lifting heavy weights and that's it, or there's the kind of competition way which you went down.
Aesthetics, yeah,
which is more, there's performance based and then aesthetic based.
Yeah.
And for me, performance based is probably
way to go.
The way to go, yeah, for me, because even I would never go to a bodybuilding show to see people compete because it would be a trigger. So if I was to go to something like a strongman competition, I would enjoy that a lot more because it's not about how you look, it's more about how they perform.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's much better kind of way of thinking. You shouldn't really be obsessed with, I don't think, the way you look. It is more about the way I perform.
Yeah. You can get obsessed in that too, though, can't you?
Yes.
I need to lift more. I need to train harder, do more days in the gym, maybe a few times in the gym.
Yeah, I need to get that deadlift up. It's not good enough where it is now. It has to be at 170 rather than 140.
So it's a very competitive industry, isn't it?
It is.
For members and instructors.
Yeah, I think probably the most I've ever experienced.
And you've kind of been both sides of it, really.
Yeah.
And I think I just fell straight into the instructor pool and started drowning. And now I can swim. Oh, my gosh. I can actually swim. So, yeah, I'm saved. I'm breathing above water and I can see the world for what it is now. And in some ways, I remember I had a friend, actually. Well, you know her, Yvonne. And she said to me, Nicola, you're so obsessed and all this stuff. Your goal this year should be to have no goal. And I was like, what? No way. Because at the time, I just thought you couldn't live life without a goal.
Unstructured.
You always have to be working towards something, like what would I do? What would my mind think of? It's just always working on a goal. And that is something, well, I'm not working on it, I'm trying not to. This is the part of the balance that I'm trying to have with my own life. And I'm speaking from, yes, I have drowned. I'm now swimming to the top and I'm breathing above the surface. I can see the world for what it is, but it doesn't mean I'm out the water yet. You know, so there are other people out there, and if you are listening and you are an instructor and you're, you know, resonating with some of the things I'm saying, then maybe we're in the same pool. We can swim together and help each other get out. If you've just joined us and you're like, what is she talking about? So we're talking about members and fitness instructors getting into the fitness industry and how it can be quite a destructive place to be if you're not doing it in a healthy way, because anything done obsessively is not healthy.
No.
Yes. So that goes right back to what we said this morning about, well, early this afternoon, about the boxes and the norms. There's the below average, the average, and then the elite, and always trying to push yourself into the elite box is not necessarily the healthy thing to do. So we're going to take a little ad now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject and what you think of the show so far, so please tweet us at HazeFM Official. So talking of independent women, Rhianna, how can our young ones, if there's anyone listening, become a bit more independent and stand up for themselves and not listen to people saying bad things about their body image? Because I think mainly it all starts when we're young, doesn't it, when we're teenagers?
Yes, yeah.
And those messages or words that people say about us, these skinny legs or fat legs or whatever, it just remains.
Yeah.
So it definitely starts when we're young, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So how can young people, how can we help them to not listen to those things and
I think it's just about
be
creating
independent
awareness.
themselves?
Just more awareness needs to be created in terms of building a healthy mindset for young ones.
This is your nudge to me to get down to schools, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. I told you should do it anyway.
We're just saying off air about me talking in schools. I've wanted to do that for a while, actually, but I would love to talk about this subject to young girls and boys, because it does affect boys, and actually that it just goes unsaid, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Same with a lot of things that affects men, because women just talk, don't we?
Yeah, and I think even the bodybuilding industry, fitness industry as a whole, does also affect men.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, when you walk down magazine aisle and you see men's health, it's always fit,
six-pack
rich
abs.
men, exactly. And if you are also not just an overweight woman, an overweight man, it's going to be just as intimidating.
Or underweight.
Exactly.
As in, well, not even that you're underweight, but you're just less muscle.
Yeah.
Less muscle. You could be, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Just being whoever you are, overweight, underweight, whatever, if you're not happy with your body and you see something, it comes back to triggers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that triggers you. It's going to be just as intimidating as it would be for anybody else. And I think a lot of people kind of forget about men.
Yeah. And when we say triggers, we mean triggers to some disordered way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because also triggers out there mean like food behaviour, exercise behaviour, stuff that spirals somebody back into like an eating disorder or disordered eating or disordered exercise. And there's also the new one now, although it's all been around for a while, but now it's come to light and it has a name, orthodoxia. Right, I'm going to Google it.
I haven't heard of it, so
but basically it is the disorder of clean eating, being obsessed by eating clean and not having bad food, and or saying that there is good and bad food, and cheat meals, and you know, you feel really bad if you have more cheat meals than clean meals and so on, and just being obsessed with calories, weighing things and using MyFitnessPal, and there are many other apps out there.
We've all been there.
Yeah, so it's the obsession of I'm healthy, you know, and this is the best obsession to have, as we were saying earlier, that even, you know, any obsession, even a fitness one, is not good.
Yeah. Then that comes to like, what is health? What is healthy?
Exactly. Tell us what health is.
It's relative to you.
Tweet us at HazeFM Official. We'll be right back after the local news. Back. We were a bit quick there on the trigger, weren't we?
Talking about triggers.
Okay, so we have found the word orthorexia. That is what I was trying to explain to you earlier, and for some reason it just left my brain. So, are you affected by orthorexia? If you're happy to, get in contact with us, tweet us, and maybe come on the show and talk about it. Orthorexia is a new illness, or rather it's been around before, but didn't have a label. So there's been plenty of people in the fitness industry, either professionals or just members, and joining in lots of fitness that have this. So I've just found one from the dailymail.co.uk, a test that you can do to find out if you do have orthorexia. And it says there's a lot of questions, and when you answer the questions you get your results. So just answer yes or no to these questions if you write them down or just remember them. Do you spend more than 3 hours a day thinking about your diet? Do you, Rhianna?
Yeah.
It could be do you or have you. And I have spent probably the whole time that I've been awake thinking about my diet when I was doing bodybuilding, and especially when you're absolutely starving, so because your brain won't allow you to think of anything else, because your natural animal behaviours want you to eat food.
I think mine's more kind of excited about my next meal.
Yeah, I always get excited about breakfast. Do you plan your meals several days ahead?
1 day ahead, usually.
Yeah, see, I used to do that, plan several days ahead. Now, as I'm trying to relax a bit more, I'm trying to think, it's not the end of the world to actually leave the house without a cereal bar or protein bar in your bag ready, so that you can eat every 3 hours on the dot. Normal people go out, get hungry, and they don't panic.
Yeah.
The world doesn't end. They weren't prepared. They didn't have a Tupperware meal with turkey and broccoli in it. So if that answer is you, you're ticking yes to number 2. Is the nutritional value of your meal more important than the pleasure of eating it?
No.
That so was for me, and now it's not. But it's just such a habit for my hands. If, say, for example, we're talking about protein bars, if I did have a protein bar, then it's a habit of my hands to turn it over to read the back. So I'm stopping myself, because from the brainwave to the hand,
you're building a new.
I'm realising exactly. I'm learning new pathways not to turn the bar over and just eat it.
And enjoy it.
Exactly. Yes. So if you are saying yes to that question, write it down. Number 3, yes. Has the quality of your life decreased as the quality of your diet has increased?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, because I believe some people who have this illness or disorder, whatever you call it, would actually feel that their quality of life has increased because they feel so in control and they feel so...
Yeah, so that could be either or.
Yeah. Has the quality of your life decreased as a result? So you wouldn't necessarily know until you come out of it and realise how good your life can be when you don't count every calorie of your food.
Yeah.
Okay, have you become stricter with yourself lately? Complete opposite lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a good question for that, because getting strict with your food, you then get strict with yourself, you then want to work out more. Like you said, if you have the extra chocolate bar, you then feel bad. You then want to work out more afterwards. So if you're saying yes to that, that's another yes. Does your self-esteem get a boost from eating healthy?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I like that, because I love healthy food, and I think of it as fuel for my exercise.
It does make you feel good.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, because that's the thing. With food making you feel guilty, once you take away the mental thing, certain foods are not saying we're good or bad, but certain foods are going to have less energy.
Yes.
And they are going to make you feel a bit sluggish.
Yeah.
They're not going to fuel you as good as some other foods, and therefore you are going to feel differently after you eat them. It's not just a mental thing, it is physiological. Where are we? So that's...
Have you given up foods?
Yes, have you given up foods you used to enjoy in order to eat the right foods, clean foods? So many people say yes to this. I can just see...
Yeah.
Probably most people at the gym would say yes to all of this.
Yeah, because most things that we associate with enjoyment means it's bad.
Does your diet make it difficult for you to eat out, distance yourself from family and friends? If you're eating out of Tupperware, then hell yes.
Yeah. For me, no, but that was you.
Yeah. But then some people will say, no, because I'm eating clean 6 days a week, and then on the 7th day I'll eat out with friends and family. But then they still have the clean, so they're answering yes to every other question. And do you feel guilty when you stray away from your diet? So that will be the cheat meal.
No, I don't.
You shouldn't be on a diet.
Exactly.
So there's nothing to stray away from. Just generally eating healthy and living well. Do you feel at peace with yourself? and in total control when you eat healthily? That's the thing, isn't it? That word, control. It's like a trick question.
Yeah. Do you feel at peace with yourself and in total control when you eat healthily? Well, yeah, because you are controlling it. So you, not necessarily at peace with yourself, because some people feel miserable when they do that. But in control, yes, because you are controlling it by making yourself eat healthily anyway.
Yeah, see, this is funny. That's all the questions, by the way. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions. And if you answered yes to 4 or 5 of them, that means it's time to relax a bit more around food. So not necessarily saying you have a full-blown obsession or disordered orthorexia, but certainly you need to be relaxed a bit more and just not be so hard on yourself. Because when you do start getting really hard on yourself like that, you lose the ability to listen to your actual body and when it is hungry and what you need to eat. You know, like when you're pregnant, if you're a lady out there who's ever been pregnant, you'll know that you crave certain foods. And it's these type of cravings and things that, you know, so long as you're giving your body nutrients, a wide variety of fruit and veg and, you know, carbohydrates, proteins and fats without weighing and measuring everything.
Macros and micros.
Yeah. Then you'll actually crave what you need.
Yeah.
That's your body's way of telling you
what you need.
And you'll feel hungry when... We just got a bit of the giggles there, so we needed to put a track on. Do forgive us. This is what happens when you have friends in the studio. It's all laughs and joy, even when you are discussing some serious topics. Because you need to be able to laugh anyway, don't you? And laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
Which you've just been doing throughout that track. So what was I saying? When I was talking about people learning in faster paces than others, what I meant by that, I mean, it gave me the giggles because it sounded like I was really big-headed and I've learnt quicker than everybody else. But what I meant was I've been in the industry for so long that I got so sucked in by all these things that I was doing that for so long, and it's only recently I've learnt and now I'm giving new information. Some people may have just got into the industry and therefore they're giving out what they're learning right now and they haven't got to the stage where they've gone through that, or may never will go through the other side and see that some of it is disordered.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just giving my own opinion. That's what this show is about. I am a fitness professional. I do have over 10 years of experience, and this is my opinion. There will be people who argue with me, and that's the whole point. I want to debate. I want you to get in touch and tweet me at HazeFemOfficial and have a debate with me. If you are a professional out there and you believe all of the diets, then, yeah, come on the show and we'll have a debate, which is a healthy term for an argument.
Just going to start throwing hands.
So what were we saying just before the break there, Rhianna? Oh, yes, about set points.
Yes.
What is a set point? Do you want to explain?
The body's natural balance.
Yes. So it's actually called homeostasis.
Homeostasis.
Yes, which is basically your body's balance. So it doesn't necessarily mean a weight. It could mean temperature. Your body has a natural temperature of 37 degrees. If you get hot, you sweat to bring your body temperature back down. If you're cold, your muscles contract, your hair sticks up on end, you get, you know, all these things happen, you shiver in order to make yourself warmer again. So if you look at your body like that, it has a natural way of bringing it always back to balance. And when you come out of balance, you know, you get really ill, or worst case scenario, even die. Like, for example, hypothermia. When we're talking about the hot and cold thing,
yeah,
you know, that is the extreme, you know, of becoming out of balance. It's the same thing with your weight. Your body wants to come back to balance. And what was your experience with set point?
My experience with set point was always trying to get to something that was unattainable. So I was trying to get below a certain weight. My body pushed me back up. I was constantly in a battle with my body to be below my set point. So my body was trying to push me back up to a certain weight, and I was fighting it to go back down.
Yeah, and I've had that battle as well myself, ups and downs with set points. And I was telling Rhianna just off air just then when the track was on that my set point was like this 9 stone weight in my head, and I'd had that for so many years. And looking back now, I realised that set point was actually set by myself when I was a teenager. And as I was saying then about, you know, accepting your body is going to change as you grow older, you have children, you know, your body goes through things in life. Your set point may be different. You may not, as an adult, be able to have the same weight, shape or size that you had as a teenager. You know, that may not be healthy for you anymore. So allow your body to change into its natural set point, and eating healthily around that. When you're listening to your body and eating right, you do not have to go on a diet. If you are overweight, you will actually lose weight. If you're underweight, yes, you will gain weight, and that may sit bad with you, but it's your mind that's making that happen, isn't it? So if you've done a big diet and you got photo shoot ready or stage ready and you were below what your set point should be, your body will fight back and it will put on fat really quickly, just because it's also scared that you're going to do it again and starve yourself. So it's got some extra fat storage. But once you get into that balance, then it will settle down and become your natural weight.
Yeah, you got to embrace that.
Yeah. So then it's about learning to love your body in that set point, because that is you, and that's going to be your body for the rest of your life. So you may as well love it rather than fight with it up and down, up and down. And if you have, like me, done that for however many years, you look back and think, I've actually wasted those years of my life.
Yeah. And you're gonna go through life, and there's gonna be enough people that don't like you. So you may as well like yourself.
Exactly.
You're gonna be battling with everybody else. So why battle with one more person that is yourself?
Exactly. And we're talking about that, like we did earlier, about the new worlds. When you get into the fitness world, there is also another world out there called body image loving. You don't have to shame yourself or other bodies, because if you notice yourself shaming other bodies, it's normally because you're unhappy with your own.
It's a reflection on how you feel.
Yeah, definitely. So if people say stuff to you, then you know they're insecure about their own body. Yeah. And that is the majority of the world, I do believe, have some form of
insecurity.
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
has insecurities. Everybody. And if you don't, then please get in touch.
Yeah.
I want to meet you.
How did you do it? Tell us. Share it with us. But do you know, there are people out there who are completely free of them. There are. And I've been listening to many podcasts, and I've bumped into lots of people on these. Some of them do things like walk around naked because, you know, they're that secure with their bodies. Yeah. And that's the journey they had to take to do it. You know, and as we were saying earlier, you did pole dancing, I did some dancing in heels, whatever it is that makes you feel more confident in your body. And these are just small steps. So it's just doing one thing at a time and finding what feels right for you and what doesn't. And if going down the gym with your mate 7 days a week because that's what they do, and maybe they're, you know, suffering themselves with a bit of disorder or the way they feel about themselves, and you trying to be like them, it's not going to be healthy if it doesn't sit right with you.
Exactly, yeah.
And get the hell out of there and contact Hayes FM. But please, I'm really, really passionate about this subject. I think you can tell. So if you're out there and you're listening and this touches you in any way, whether it's a family member, friend, or if it's yourself, how, you know, are suffering from orthorexia, I can say it now, or any kind of like disordered eating, way of viewing your body, or relationship with exercise or food, get in contact. I want to hear your story, and it could be anonymous if you want to, because I'm here to help. I'll give free advice, and I'm quite happy to share my story and journey as well. And I'm also writing a book which will be coming out soon. Watch this space, actually listen to this space. So Rhianna, you should write a book and your experience of diving in and getting out quickly.
Yeah, I dipped my toes. Yeah, maybe one day. It's not a priority right now, but maybe one day.
So if anybody does want to contact Rhianna, though, I have tweeted her Twitter account. She's also on my Facebook group, which is now called 2016 New Year, New You.
Any
Bear with me.
Size, isn't it? Something
Any shape or size, yes, because I've changed the name. Yeah. This is the new me. It used to be called 2016 New Year Fitness and Weight Loss. And we've been going for a few years, actually. So every year we update the year. And this time we've changed and seen the light, and we're all about body confidence and body image, making you feel good in any shape or size. Because it's health that is for your body, and you are only you, nobody else.
And I think as well, part of health is happiness. All-round health, isn't it? Mental and physical. Exactly,
because your body is just a tool, really. It's like your car, your vehicle of life.
It's a vessel.
To get you from A to B. So if you worried about the car you were driving in from A to B, you know, and not looking out the window and seeing the lovely trees and the people and just, you know what I mean? So you're not experiencing life. You're just worried about the vehicle, and it is only a vehicle, then what a waste that you've had.
it's still going to work the same as any other car. It's still going to get you to where you need to be.
Exactly. And let's quickly talk about selfies, because we're leaving at 3 o'clock. Oh my goodness.
5 minutes.
We're almost there. So quickly, let's talk about selfies.
Selfies?
Yeah.
I'm the worst.
Let me take a selfie.
I love a selfie.
You are,
I've got
but
a
do you know
selfie
what?
stick.
Your selfies are great because they're all body confident, and as you said, you talk about what you're feeling today,
Yeah.
and if you know how you're feeling in your clothes and things like that as well.
Yeah.
So let's unsubscribe from people's selfies who make you feel bad.
Selfish selfies.
Yep. And subscribe to hashtags like what's it? Health at every size. HAES.
Yeah.
Yes. So start searching that hashtag, HAES. Let me know what you find. And if you find things there that make you feel positive, and selfies of people who feel body confident, because there are people out there, and it doesn't matter what shape or size you are, you can love yourself in the skin you're in. And if you are single and you get to love yourself, then somebody else will love you.
Yeah.
And if you are with somebody, or have been for ages, and they've always loved you all this time, and you didn't love you, then you may as well love you like they do.
Exactly.
Learn
You've
to
got
see
double love.
yourself. Exactly. Learn to see yourself in their eyes. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with Ed Sheeran and Photograph. And thank you so much, Rhianna, for being my special guest today.
Thank you.
You're welcome anytime.